They say life gives you lemons, but life gave Terry a 2006 Ford Taurus, a patch of black ice, and a steel guardrail. Lemons would have been cheaper. The crash wasn't dramatic, not in the movie way. There was no orchestral score, no slow-motion flip. Just 1 second he was steering through slush with a bag of gas station tacos on the passenger seat, and the next, everything went black. He woke up 2 days later to a pale ceiling, the beep of monitors, and the absence of his legs from the knee down. The first thing he said was, "Well, I always hated socks anyway." The nurses laughed. His sister cried. The jokes came easy at first, easier than the grief that trailed in behind them like a shadow. Terry had always worked with his hands and feet. Ran forklifts, stacked pallets, fixed machines with duct tape and spit. His life had rhythm, lift, load, repeat. He was proud of being reliable. Strong. Solid. Now he couldn't stand without help. Couldn't shower without strategy. Couldn't even look in a mirror without seeing the space where his legs used to be. The world didn't just change, it shrunk. He was discharged into a second-floor apartment in a weathered brick building with no ramp and a cranky elevator that rattled like it was held together by prayer. The city had promised improvements soon, which was bureaucrat speak for "we forgot." The curb out front wasn't cut. The only way up or down without the elevator was a rickety plank of plywood someone had wedged into the steps like a DIY skateboard ramp. He named it the launch pad. Every morning he strapped on his temporary prosthetics, braced himself at the top, and muttered something motivational like, "Please don't die today." Some days it worked, some days it didn't. Once it rained and he slid the whole way down, landing in a pile of wet leaves and questionable dignity. Still, he kept showing up to rehab. Learned to walk again on carbon fiber legs that looked like they belonged to a sci-fi action figure. Took pride in every awkward, sweaty, painful step. But progress didn't erase the anger. It was the little things. Steps without handrails. Icy sidewalks. Bathroom stalls that were technically accessible if you were a yoga instructor with the arms of an orangutan. Worst of all were the pitying looks and uninvited pep talks from strangers. "You're so brave," they'd say. Terry wanted to reply, "I'm just trying to buy eggs, not climb Mount Everest." Then the elevator broke. Again. It was the third time in a month. He stood at the base of the stairs in his prosthetics, holding 2 bags of groceries and staring at the out-of-order sign like it owed him money. A neighbor offered to carry the bags. Another one offered to carry him. "I weigh 200 pounds and have a bruised ego," he said. "You're gonna need backup." That night, after a friend helped him hobble up the stairs, one arm slung around Terry's back like a half-drunken 3-legged race, he cracked open a bottle of gas station wine and stared at the blinking cursor on his old laptop. He wasn't a writer, but he was done being quiet. You try it with no legs, day 91. The elevator is out again. I live on the 2nd floor, which might not sound bad until you've tried stairs in $30,000 robot feet with 2 bags of groceries and knees that forgot how to bend. Being a double amputee isn't just about losing legs. It's about losing access. Ramps that don't exist. Doors that weigh as much as your trauma. Elevators that pretend they're optional. People who call you an inspiration for existing. I don't need pity. I need a working elevator and a city that remembers I live here. He posted it on a local community board, shut the laptop, and passed out watching reruns. The next morning his inbox was full. People were reading it, sharing it, commenting. Some were wheelchair users, others were parents with strollers, or seniors with walkers. One woman said she tripped over the same curb with her cane. A middle school teacher messaged to ask if he'd come talk to her class for Disability Awareness Week. He blinked at the message. Wasn't sure if he was more shocked they'd asked, or that he kind of wanted to say yes. He said yes. The kids were wild, curious, brutally honest, and weirdly respectful once he cracked a joke. "No, I can't kick anyone," he told them, grinning. "But I've got titanium feet, so if I could, you'd feel it." They laughed. Asked real questions. One girl asked if he'd ever run again. "Not really," he said. "But I can chase an ice cream truck if I get a good start and it's slightly downhill." He talked about learning to walk again. About falling. About getting back up even when it hurt. He told them the difference between being helped and being seen. He told them humor saved his life, not all at once but in little pieces. That day, he went home lighter. He started writing more. Short posts turned into blogs. Reviews of local places from a prosthetic wearer's perspective. He called it the sit-down strikes. Part complaint, part comedy, part crusade. He mapped sidewalks that needed work, Named and shamed inaccessible businesses, with humor, no lawsuits, just sass. Showed up at city meetings. At first they barely looked up from their phones, then he brought photos, diagrams, stats. He got laughs, then attention, then change. The curb out front was cut and paved. The building got a proper ramp, not a plywood death trap but concrete with railings and grip tape. The elevator got a full overhaul. A grocery store he called out fixed their door within a week. People started recognizing him. Not like a celebrity, more like a neighbor you're secretly proud of. One morning, while waiting at the bus stop, an older guy with a prosthetic arm approached him. "You the fella who posted that elevator rant?" Terry raised a brow. "Are you here to thank me or fight me?" The guy chuckled. "Thank you, and maybe fight you later. I'm retired. I've got time." Terry never got his legs back, but he got something else. He got traction. Purpose, he made people uncomfortable in the best way. Helped other amputees feel a little less alone. And with every new curb cut, every widened doorway, every small victory, he moved forward. The prosthetics stayed, so did the sarcasm. And yeah, some days still sucked. But he was no longer stuck. He was building something. One step, one laugh, one post at a time. And curb cuts. Lots of curb cuts.